Well, hello again. Welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm back in the bunker because I'm too tired to go into the office. Just back from Tech Hub. I drove the 10 hours back, which ended up being great because the flight I was on that I canceled ended up being stuck in Denver until about 2:30 this morning. So the car was a great option, and it was great to see the corn all the way down I-80, the corn and soybeans growing. Lots of volunteer corn in the soybeans, but the corn itself, most of the way down looked pretty good. You got into Illinois and Iowa, and it looked outstanding. Yeah, hopefully that keeps up. I mean, even in droughty areas down where I was going through and down on the way to Des Moines, looked pretty good. We'll get some rain and you can hop that stuff back up again. But yeah. And you want to see the best looking corn driving through Iowa, and down I-80 is about your best bet.
Very good. Yeah, no, I know, Paul. It was an interesting show, the Tech Hub Live. Had a lot of people there, and I forget the final numbers, but I know it was several hundred folks showed up to join us over the course of I guess 2.5 days, if you count the party Monday night, which was excellent, by the way. I know a lot of people who were there seemed happy that they actually got to meet people in person, talk to them in person. And I know after the fact, I've been getting emails the last day and a half from folks thanking us for an event and looking forward to more events in the future, and maybe ours come again next year in 2022.
Indeed, we got a lot of great compliments, and it was just fun to get everybody in the same room again, chatting, and everybody was just thrilled to be together one-on-one. I think we put on a really solid conference that embraced the Midwest, and what we do next year is we're gonna bring a lot more to it from the standpoint of participation from a broader part of the market as people start traveling more, and we can get more of those kind of folks that will be willing to do that. It was an interesting year, interesting planning to get through all this, but it was worth every minute. I mean, just to see the joy and the fun that people were having getting together was made all the difficulty in putting this thing together through the last 6 months really worth every minute.
Yeah, and I know one of my big takeaways, Paul, came from our friend Jason Weller from Tutera, who, when he was giving one of his talks during our general session on Wednesday morning, basically said, in his opinion, the future of ag retail is precision. So again, if you want any justification, reason to be at a show like Tech Hub Live, I think coming from a person like with Jason's background and knowledge of the marketplace, that's a pretty strong endorsement right there. So
you bet. So that's enough of that.
Well, not quite, Paul.
Oh, not quite. You got more.
Well, just one other thing. I mean, we had one of our keynote speakers was Chad Colby from Colby Ag Tech, and he actually demonstrated something on stage, which I think was very interesting. And we have a little video here to share with you right now.
Folded out the little wings, took the cover off the camera. That wasn't very long. I'm going to turn it on. A little button on the bottom. It's probably going to beep a little, do a little beep. Don't get nervous, Paul. This one's small. So it's on. I'm going to set it right there. How did the app just open up and work? Look at that. The app just started. There it is on the stage. Take off with caution because we're inside. It has sonar. You know what? I'm lazy this morning. I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I'll just let it take off. We'll do auto takeoff. Push the button. I haven't done anything yet. We'll fly it around. Yay, this is cool. Okay, I've had enough fun. I don't feel like landing it either. I'm kind of lazy today. Guess what? You push the button. Cool. It detected the elevation change right there, and it said, "Are you sure you want to land?" Because I pulled it forward, it has LiDAR, it detects that. But my point is, there's not one of you in this room that couldn't utilize technology like this.
So that's what Chad shared with the audience at Tech Hub Live. I was very fascinated, Paul. I know I've seen many a drone in my day, but I never saw anyone actually be able to pull one out of the pocket of their suit jacket and then put it on the stage, set it up in like less than 30 seconds and fly it around a little bit. I mean, that was incredibly impressive. And I certainly can see how that technology will become more useful for ag retailers and their grower customers going forward. And again, like he mentioned, the cost was about $700-800 for this teeny tiny drone, which actually looked like a toy, but I mean, very functional based on the image we were seeing of it on the screen. So.
Yeah, as a cut-in cloth event manager, my first thought was, please don't fly off and hit somebody in the head. We don't need the liability.
No, but again, I mean, it only flew a few feet off a stage and it stayed away from the people. But I mean, it was just amazing to watch, and it automatically takes off, automatically lands. I mean, this is, you know, I remember when I was taking my driving test, one of the key things was learning how to parallel park. And I know cars have been doing that by themselves for years now. So it's nice to know that the drones are becoming just as smart. So.
Yeah. By the way, where's my flying car? That's what I want.
I'm sure you could probably get it.
I grew up on the Jetsons, you know, that was like 50 years ago. So, you know, I was promised some flying cars, and I still want to know where my flying car is, but that's okay.
Maybe soon, Paul. Again, first we got to go electric, then we can fly these days.
All right. So what else you got?
Yeah, by the way, speaking of electric cars, it was interesting that I noticed at our hotel at Tech Hub Live, there was a Tesla parked out in the front charging at the charging station they had there right in their near their valet line at the hotel. I thought, wow, that's something I have not seen before. So that was interesting. So anyhow, back to industry news and away from Jetsons, futuristic cars and such like that. Paul, we got another week, and lo and behold, we got another merger announcement taking place between our friends in the ag retail space. Yeah, care to guess who this time, or you want me just to dive in?
Why don't you just dive in, sir?
All right. Well, actually, on July 1st, the members that make up two companies, Ag Partners and First Cooperative Association, have decided to formally merge their companies together. The formal merger will take place on September 1st. No news yet on maybe a new name, or if they're going to work under one of the current names. But Troy Upa, who is the current CEO of Ag Partners, will remain the CEO of this new combined organization. And what he said about the merger was, as our industry continues to change at a rapid pace, it is important to keep moving forward with those changes. Through this merger, we will be able to continue to meet the needs of our members and area growers now and well into the future. And again, Paul, I mean, these are two of the what we've been seeing in consolidation recently has been like someone in our CropLife 100 list buy someone outside the list to expand their operation. But in this case, you've got two CropLife 100 retailers. Ag Partners last year's CropLife 100 was ranked number 53, and First Cooperative Association was ranked 65. So combined, they're going to probably move up into the top 30 with their combined revenue. And both of these companies are quite old. I mean, they've got long storied histories. First Cooperative's history goes back to 1887, and Ag Partners back to 1905. So again, better than a century, both companies have been around, and now they're joining forces to make, ag retail a little better there in their home state of Iowa. So,
yep, terrific. Well, yeah, I've been to Ag Partners a couple times and did a profile not too long ago on them on their precision efforts. So, congratulations to those folks, and hopefully the scale and the combination of the two will allow them to continue on for another 100 years.
Very good. Well, then, Paul, your favorite segment of the show coming up.
Oh, really? I'm tired, man.
Oh, this one should not be that hard because you've already hinted at it. There's your first clue, but it is time for Fun with Numbers.
Okay.
And I got to say, Paul, I heard from more people at Tech Hub. I'm sorry, bring up Tech Hub again in the video, but there were about a half dozen people that came up to me to say, thank you for the videos. And by the way, really love Fun with Numbers. Keep it up. So Paul, like I said, they either like the information we're giving them or the fact that you seem to have so much non-fun with this segment. But
Well, at least they perceived the accuracy of that, because yes, I am aggravated. Anyway,
well, all right, Paul, I have Fun with Numbers this week is going to be a little more interesting because I actually have two numbers for you, but they're both in the same range. So the first number is 65 and the second is 60. And these are percentages, and your clue is US crops. What do you think the 65 and 60% represent with that as your background? And think about something you said earlier that'll give you a clue.
all right. Killing me. So yeah, I talked about corn, so it's probably related to corn, right?
One of the numbers is related to corn.
Okay, so we've got a percent increase in projected yield.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Paul. The buzzer has gone off. No. You were talking earlier about what the corn looked like as you were driving across Iowa, I-80, and the I-states of Illinois and Indiana, making your way back home.
Yeah.
These numbers come from the latest USDA report on crop conditions. Crops ranked good to excellent in condition. For corn, 65% of the crop is rated good to excellent. For soybean, 60%. Now, both of those ratings are improvements over the last week or so, as some rain has fallen in parts of the Midwest. But the report did warn that there was expected more hot, dry conditions coming up this coming week, the end of July, so that maybe the conditions those numbers might go down a little bit in the coming weeks. But just to throw more numbers at you too, Paul, this report said that 60% of the cotton is rated good to excellent, and 72% of the rice crop is rated good to excellent. So, I mean, again, overall, those major crops, they're all above 60% in good to excellent rating. Here in July, when we've had some challenging weather across the United States, I think bodes pretty well for harvest time come fall. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I know there's plenty of nerves about getting timely rainfalls in Iowa, where the crop is hanging on. And a conversation with a couple of Dakota folks too, and I know that there's some areas where the crop's almost lost, if not wholly lost, depending on where you are in certain areas. Yeah, if we get just enough rain, if we could just squeeze some rain out in the next month, that would be absolutely spectacular. I think it's really going to be, because I was amazed how good it looks, even in the derecho area. The amount of volunteer corn was substantial, and it's been so hard to control. And it's just the derecho put so much corn on the ground, and they did their best to scoop it up and try to harvest it, but it just put a lot of kernels out there, and it's just difficult. People said we treated it, and in some cases it just fought hard and fought back and survived in a lot of cases. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yep. Yeah, and I know, coming up in our September issue of CropLife magazine, we've got a story on, the weed resistance issues and sort of an update on that topic. And I know, yeah, given how much people talked about the volunteer corn problem they're having in Iowa this year, I'm sure that'll be a part of that article. So watch for that in pages of our magazine and online come early September.
You bet. All right, are we finished, sir?
I think we are finished, Paul. So yes, you look tired, go get some sleep. I guess we won't talk about Tech Hub next week. We'll actually have to come up with some new topics to discuss between us. So
I can't promise that. I mean, stuff will start occurring to me at some point. I'll, snap out of my haze, and I'll be like, oh, there's all this great stuff. we'll have a lot of content out there. You know, if you're interested in finding out more about what people were saying, we've got tons of interviews and stories and so forth coming in the next week, and you can look out for that. But you know, thanks again to everybody who came, all our sponsors and so forth. Looking forward to doing another bang up one next year. And I guess that's it. And that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. Look forward to seeing you next week, and thanks for joining us.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.